and welcome to Saturday night. How's everybody doing? It's time for some Saturday night live chat here. Um, Solar empowerment is the discussion for this evening. You probably don't need me to tell you what's going on with space weather. There are many people talking about what's going on with space weather. And what I normally come here to do is to tell you what that space weather is doing to you and the people around you and how we are interacting with that space weather. So, hello, welcome, happy Saturday night. I am finally, completely, and totally moved in to my apartment. And I have never felt so lucky, so gracious, so abundant, and so manifesting in this realm as I am right now. So, hello and welcome, and let's talk about solar empowerment. Okay, hopefully, this stand that I'm using can stay empowered long enough to make this video. Um, it wants to seem to keep going over. It is top heavy. And the last one I had clipped on, and it was kind of a pain in the butt too. So I had to clip it on a notebook. But this one just has a stand. And by the time you put the phone in it, it becomes top heavy and wants to fall over. So maybe in this space weather and this energy, you feel top heavy and you want to fall over. Like my Olight, like my ring stand here. Okay, so solar empowerment. Let's talk about that. There is no expansion in what the mind thinks, right? All of our expansion comes from the heart center or the flux capacitor of the body. Not one shred of safety comes from anything in the brain. Even though we are and we have the component of the reptilian brain, which makes us think that our first and foremost gift and pattern here should be to keep ourselves safe. Safe from weather, safe from drama, safe from relationships, safe from health problems, safety, safety, safety. It's like a one-tracked reptilian mind. So tonight's video is going to be about solar empowerment and what the heck is going on right now. As I've said, you do not need me to come here and tell you about space weather. Anyone watching this channel, I know that you are aware and following space weather to some degree. So let's talk about the solar empowerment and why I'm here. And my job is always to tell you what this solar energy or cosmic energy is doing to you and the people around you, how we are reacting, and how different groups of people are reacting. In case you haven't figured that out, that's kind of what I've been doing for the last 3 years. For some reason, this ring light gets incredibly hot, so bear with me. I like to have total and complete silence when making videos, which means no fan, no air conditioner, and no reading comments, which I believe are turned off just because I cannot stay concentrated in the higher realms where these messages reside that I bring to you. And so thank you for your love and support and all your brilliant comments over the years. Some people have not been so brilliant and so nice lately. So I have cut the comments out. Okay. Your solar empowerment in the solar cycle we are in. Okay. There are many, many people doing actual space weather, but sometimes I throw bits and pieces out there that I am aware of. And I will tell you, the more time you spend outside, the less you will even feel this solar energy, though you will never cut yourself off from the experience of this solar cycle, your destiny, and what you came here at this time to do. There is no expansion, zero expansion in what the mind thinks or believes or its need for safety. Our expansion always, and specifically now in this solar cycle, comes from the heart energy, the heart portal, the heart capacitor, okay, the flux capacitor of the body. Just like the core of planet Earth is a crystalline flux capacitor for planet Earth, our heart is a flux capacitor for this planet. There is no expansion in what the reptilian mind thinks. The expansion comes when we move around by our internal compass, that which resides the energy, the love, the playfulness, the forgiveness, the gratitude that comes from our heart space. So even though I'm not here to bring you space weather, I will tell you, I believe it was last week that we had two X-class solar flares in 12 hours. You heard that right. 2 X-class solar flares in 12 hours. And some of these X-class solar flares are so big that I feel like they either need to come up with a different class or some kind of different way, or maybe a double XL or something. I don't know. Okay. But 2 X-class solar flares in a 12-hour time frame. Okay. The amount of solar flares in the last 2 weeks have been absolutely astronomical. So let's talk about parallel simulations. This universe, this multiverse, this omniverse, and planet Earth has a natural, organic simulation. Okay, that is a simulation created by God, created by Source. Whatever name you want to add to it doesn't make a difference. You know that there's a higher power out there that created what we live on in planet Earth, in our sector of the universe, and that is a simulation. Okay, there is an organic, created by Source simulation. There is an organic, original, created from Source God simulation, and then there is an overlay that is inorganic, manipulated. Most of you are aware of this. However, what is happening with this inundation of solar flares is that the parallel simulations between the organic Source God created one and the man-made override, if you will, is the solar flares are shorting out the fuse box on the inorganic man-made simulation. And the last video was talking about your fuse box and how your body and your fuse box is reacting to the solar flares, and how you may be blowing a fuse to some capacity or another, and people around you will be blowing fuses to some capacity or another. If you have not seen last week's video, go back and watch that, called Your Solar Fuse Box. If I was tech savvy, I would connect that with this video, but I'm not. So there you go. So parallel simulations are running. Okay, we have an organic simulation created by Source God, right? For the benefit, pleasure, freedom, sovereignty, and abundance of all humankind and sentient life on this planet. Then we have an overlay simulation, that is manipulation and control, and most of you know about that. However, what is happening with back-to-back solar flares is this inorganic timeline or overlay. Okay, so original Source created, God created simulation for our benefit, for our freedom, for our sovereignty, has an overlay of an inorganic man-made and manipulative simulation, and most of you know that. But just like the last video, when I talked about the body and the solar flares and kind of blowing fuses in your own personal fuse box, that is now what I'm seeing is happening on the macrocosmic or the larger world stage of events here, is that the simulation overlay, the inorganic manipulative timeline, is blowing a fuse. And when that happens, there are many, many parts of this inorganic manipulated timeline or overlay that don't work. And I'll come back to that briefly. So parallel simulations, organic, God created, freedom, sovereignty, all of those beautiful things. We came here to realize we are a living God, a living goddess in a human body. That is the point of us coming here, so that we could learn that. And when we learn that, we would come out of the other side of that and learn our power to create, like Jesus, like Shiva, like Gandhi, like all those other persons of greatness that have come before us. I have spent almost zero time on social media because I have been working so much. And after work and sometimes on my only day off, I am doing tarot. If that's something you're interested in, reach out to me for that. Also, I'm still doing field cleaning and clearing as well. So in the millisecond that I was on social media, I saw some people mentioning that, the auroras were fake, and why would we be seeing auroras all over the United States, right? People even, in my neighborhood on social media, my own friends and family circle are seeing and posting pictures of the aurora borealis, which is very, very rare in our area. So hello and welcome to all that are here. I'm sorry that you can't comment and I cannot see who's here. The distractions were too great for me with people being very strange just in recent videos. I guess that's what happens when videos start to get around. I am very intent on being a clear channel and bringing you a clear message without those disruptions. And perhaps next week we will turn those back on. So what I want to tell you is, with the inorganic manipulated things in our physical reality, those are now blowing a fuse box. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is the auroras are very, very, very real. Okay, these are not manipulated. Now, on a higher level, some of what is going on here is that because HAARP and weather manipulation and Bluebeam and other projects of manipulation and control, again, we go back to the organic source created parallel versus the inorganic manipulated timeline. So while these back-to-back things are sort of blowing a fuse in the overlay or the control portion of the timeline, when we have these incredible energies of back-to-back solar flares, which has been happening, I want to say 16 to 18 days, somewhere around there. I want to say we've had, I'm guessing, somewhere between 40 and 50 M-class or higher flares, and some of the one of the X-class flares that we had back-to-back 2 and 12 hours, one of them was a 7.89 or 7.98. So like, what do we want to call that? A double X? So what I want you to know about this back-to-back solar inundation, with that comes solar empowerment, not only of self, but of sentient life and of this planet. So not only are the auroras real, we had 3 to 5 days at least. I can't tell when it's raining exactly what's going on in the sky. I have to use my intuition at that point, right? But for 3 to 5 days, we had zero pollution. And I have not seen zero pollution in Cincinnati or our surrounding areas probably since my early childhood in the early 80s. So that's a really big deal. Okay, so why is the weather all wonky? And maybe you think, or maybe you've heard, or maybe there's stuff going around about weather manipulation. I don't know. I haven't had time to be on social media, but here's what came through to me. All of this time was zero pollution. And when you have zero pollution, the sky was like the color of this lapis necklace. Okay, it was so blue, it was almost purple. So 3 to 5 days of zero pollution. Why? Because HARP and weather manipulation are part of that manipulated timeline, or that manipulated inorganic parallel reality that is overlaid on top of the natural source created one. Okay, so just like us, where we are having issues, some moderately, some severe, maybe around you, with our own fuse box, and understanding what is happening, body, mind, and spirit connection across the board. Now, the overlay or the manipulation is failing. Now, you've heard that the higher frequency overrides the negative lower frequency. Now, maybe if you're in Walmart and the grocery store stuck in traffic, it doesn't feel that way. Okay. But the way it sometimes feels is not the way it is. HARP and weather manipulation do not work once you get past a certain frequency. Okay, so they could be using HARP or Bluebeam or weather technology, all kind of interference, interaction going on with that overlay, but it's not going to have any effect, because the frequency, even though it's a higher technology than most are aware of, or that than most things on this planet, this back-to-back solar radiation, this solar empowerment for the human body, for sentient life, and for the planet, will not take Project Bluebeam. It will not take chemtrails or HARP or any sort of other gadgets or weather manipulation. HARP and weather manipulation do not work in the frequency that we are currently experiencing on planet Earth. So, what the heck's going on with the crazy weather? Maybe you've had, a really strange, hot weather or drought-like conditions, or maybe you're sick of not seeing the sun. Maybe it's been weeks since you've actually seen the sun. Okay, so what's going on? You have to think about it maybe in layman's terms, like when you're using a heavy piece of machinery outside, like a lawnmower or a weed whacker or anything. Okay, you turn that off, but the vibration is not completely gone from your body, right? You have to readjust and reassimilate to taking your hands off the lawnmower or the weed whacker or the chainsaw or whatever you're doing. Your body will continue that reverberation for a few minutes or a half hour, depending on how long you were attached to that equipment. Okay, so the weather is going through the same thing. So the fact that HARP or Bluebeam or these weather manipulation tactics are not working in this higher frequency are allowing and inviting the earth frequency and sentient life frequency to readjust to what it feels like after so long of not having a break from any weather manipulation. So you may have, extreme weather, really hot days, too much heat. You may feel like for early in the season, or it may feel like the opposite season, or maybe it's rained for, 14 days and you haven't seen the sun. That is because the weather manipulation doesn't work in this frequency. And as soon as weather manipulation stops, just like you put down the weed whacker or the lawnmower or the chainsaw, the body takes a few to adjust, right? Now, if you think about it in those terms, we wouldn't be holding on to a lawnmower, for 100,000 years or however long they've been doing this crazy weather manipulation. It's going to take a while to self-regulate. Now, I haven't had a chance to talk to that many of you. I have not seen any chemtrails since the inundation, or any kind of weather manipulation, or any kind of HARP or anything like that since we started getting pounded with these M class, and I know we've had some C class, but mostly M class and X class solar flares. I haven't seen any pollution whatsoever. It's either the most gorgeous weather I've ever seen in my entire life, or it's raining. So be patient and be loving and have gratitude for that. I don't know how long it is going to last, because in this cycle, in this particular solar cycle, we know it's just going to keep amping up, and amping up. So the weather manipulation will not work in this frequency. How long we are going to stay at this frequency, I don't know, but I expect between now and 2025 that we're going to see solar inundation like we've never seen it since we've been keeping record. And again, you guys, I think, probably follow space weather probably a little bit more than I do. Every once in a while, I will check Pat Dunmore's page because I seem to hear it on the right side of my body. Unlike telepathy from people that comes in on the left side, the right side, it just sounds like a ruckus, sometimes a circus, or like a really loud ocean wave, or like putting a shell up to your ear. So I hear that frequency when it's coming in, but it's coming in so often now it's hard to differentiate the entrance and exits of solar stuff. So all this is happening to empower the human body, the human mind, and the human spirit connection. It's happening to empower sentient life. It's happening to empower Mother Earth herself, okay? Solar empowerment for everyone and everything and all of life on this planet. I know you know this, but it helps to be reminded sometimes that you yourself, that you and I, that we, right? That the human body who chose to come in at this time of ascension, this time of beauty, this time of chaos, this time of extreme light, this time of extreme dark, this time of extremes, okay? This time of polarities. And it's hard and it's work to keep ourselves even. But remember, please, please, please remember, you are moving big, big, big energy. This is not 10 years ago energy. Okay. This is not 3 years ago energy. This is not 3 months ago energy. This is not even 3 weeks ago energy. This is huge. Okay. And it's solar empowerment for you and the planet. And you have to remember that your body is a conduit. And sometimes if you close your eyes and get yourself in complete darkness, or put a face mask on, or put a pillow over your head or something, you will see the amount of sparking that's going on within the pineal gland itself and the light that's emanating around the body. So please remember that you are moving big, big, big energy. Never forget that. It's not easy every single day. There is no doubt. But I'm telling you, there has never been a more empowering energy than the energy we have right now. And the thing that's so important about us moving big, big energy is that is our number one job, to move big, big energy, not to coerce friends, neighbors, people on social media, but to live it, to lead it, and be an example. When you show the way, when you light the way, when you are the person that can move and handle big, big energy, that lights the way for the next wave and the next wave and the next wave to be able to handle this really, really, really big energy. You are moving incredibly big energy. Please remember who you are. And the most important thing about remembering who you are is you are God. Okay? We are the spark of God in a human body. And the main reason we came here, our destiny, your destiny, my destiny, everyone's destiny on the planet, is exactly the same. We came here to learn how to create the life and the things in our own life, in our personal reality, and on the world stage that we want to see. We came here to create, and we came here to lead the way. You are moving big, big, big energy, and it's so important for you to remember who you are. You are a spark, the god, goddess head energy in a human body, maneuvering around with your heart, hopefully, when you're making decisions and deciding what is most brilliant, what is most joyful, and what is most playful for you. And the most important thing about this is you and I, us as a whole, all of us, we do not need to do anything we don't want to do. Now, you may say, well, I don't want to brush my teeth, or I don't want to fix dinner. Okay, well, there is a part of you that should be brilliant enough and have a spark that's brilliant enough to take care of yourself in the highest capacity. Okay, so you not wanting to do certain things is really what I'm not referring to when it comes to self care. I'm saying there's no reason to do people, places, jobs, situations that you don't want to do. If you remember, this is me here. I am God. I am God. I am Goddess right here internally within me. Why would you ever do anything that doesn't please you? Okay. We have this 90-year-old client, and she may have us put it in a rose bush last year, and then she'll say this year, you know what? Take the rose bush away. It no longer pleases me. Now, her and her husband are still living at home together. They are the cutest couple I've ever seen, and it's so inspiring. But I love that. I really just took that attitude from her, right? Um, Remember who you are. Remember that you're moving big, big energy, and that you don't need to do anything that you don't want to do. And again, I'm not talking about taking care of yourself or communicating, with your family and friends. I don't mean that. But I mean jobs, people, situations, conversation, whatever is lacking joy, lacking clarity, and lacking brilliance. If you know that you are God, and you know that you are goddess, okay? We are male, female energy. We are God, goddess in a human body. And if you can tell yourself that, and you can remember that, who you truly are as a soul, God, goddess, you would not do anything you didn't want to do. You don't. I don't. We do not need to be involved in anything. Like my client says, it doesn't please me. Take it away. Okay. So if it doesn't please you, take it away. And literally use that when you're talking to people. This has come up a lot in the last week in talking to people. We had a job that was mundane and boring, and I was like, you might as well had a butter knife and been scraping weeds out of a sidewalk for 3 hours at some lady's house. And I told Daniel, I said, you don't need me there. That job doesn't please me. I don't want to do it. You guys were doing it fine without me. I don't like the job. I'm not doing that anymore. We have so much work to do that I'm going to pick and choose, and I'm going to say, you know what? I don't like that. It doesn't please me. Take it away. Okay? Remember who you are. You are God. You are goddess. You are male, female, God, goddess, energy, and a human form that came here to learn how to effectively, abundantly, and magically create the things in your life and in the world that please you. That is the only reason you came here. That is your entire destiny, is to do what pleases you while being in service to the healthiest, highest version of yourself and the healthiest, highest version of everyone you come in contact and the planet itself. You came here for no other reason than to create. So the problem with this, and it's been coming up a lot, and it came up in a reading I had. My days are running together because I'm not taking any days off. My day off from landscaping, I spent a couple hours doing a reading for my beautiful friend, Tina. And one thing that repeatedly has been coming up before her and after, but all during the reading, was our mindset. How do we override the mindset, right? We have the reptilian part of the brain. We can't make it go away. The only thing we can do is come up with a solution to, let's say that part of the brain is telling you, I can't do this. How would I make money? Whatever the doubt is, whatever the, I have a fear of safety that comes from the reptilian brain, must keep myself safe, must keep myself safe, must keep myself safe at all costs and all measures, must keep self safe, must work 3D job, must stay in these relationships and family situations, work situations, whatever it is, right? But if we know we're God and we know we came here to create abundantly the life we want to see for ourselves and the world we want to live in, then we have to realize that our biggest problem is the reptilian part of the brain, because the mindset that the planet is in, pretty much as a whole, including the first wave. Now, you might think that we would be over this or we would be past it, and maybe some of us are, okay? But we all have those doubts and those things that creep in from that reptilian part of their brain. So please remember who you are, that you are the God spark in the human form. You came here to learn how to create, and the mindset coming from the reptilian brain is, well, I should never put myself in a position to be hurt, right? Maybe I don't want to go out on this date. What if this person's going to hurt me? What if I don't want to take a chance on this job because it's out of my comfort zone? It's out of my safety zone, okay? But we are the creator. So we have to find a way to override that reptilian part of the brain that brings the mindset that says, I must keep myself safe. I must not put myself out there to the point that I can hurt, that I can allow this person, place, thing, situation, job, whatever it is, hurt me. What if it doesn't work? But the conundrum here is that there is no expansion in what the mind thinks is safe. The only way we expand our personal reality and the reality we wish to see in the world is by taking a chance with what's in here in the heart space that makes us want to do things, that makes us want to smile, that makes us want to jump out of bed with both feet on the floor in the morning. And the more things, the most things that you can do that will get you in that energy of being excited to get up in the morning and do this thing or have these conversations or create this music or write this blog or do these books or whatever that thing is for you. You are the creator. Let go of the reptilian mindset that if I do this person, place, or thing, I'm going to get hurt. But if we don't put ourselves out there and we don't ever take a chance, there is zero expansion in safety. There is zero expansion in safety. There is zero expansion and in what the mind thinks is safe. Zero expansion in that. So, knowing that we have a seesaw battle going on here between the God created simulation, which we all live in, and the one that man has tried to override to keep us out of our sovereignty and out of our free will and out of our joyful, blissed out, creative spark that we came here to be. That's the whole reason the overlay is there. There's no other reason for the overlay, inorganic overlay of the simulation to be there other than to override your creative joy spark. That's the whole reason for its existence. The organic human template, the organic grid coordinates, all of that is readjusting, recalibrating, okay, and regaining or reconnecting its circuitry to a higher possibility. Okay, so if there's something that you wanted to do, right, 10 years ago, 6 months ago, 5 weeks ago, the greatest time to achieve something instantaneously or within a matter of days is to do it in the current energy the way it is. Okay. There is no expansion in what the mind thinks is safe. There is no expansion in what the mind thinks is possible. There is no expansion in not pushing ourselves, inviting ourselves, prodding ourselves, talking ourselves up, whatever we have to do to be empowered by the solar frequency that's coming in. Because the organic overlay, the system created by God, which dropped you in the simulation to figure out that it was a simulation, then figure out how to work it and manifest an abundant, amazing, radiant, joyful life for self and the planet, is dealing with the fact that the inorganic timeline or overlay is now blowing fuses, hence HARP not working or Bluebeam not working or whatever. And again, I don't know how long these things are not going to be working to the capacity that they were, okay? Because they've really amped up these sort of things in the last year. Right now, they don't seem to be working. They're working at a zero capacity, okay? This manipulation, the overlay, the fuses being blown in the systematic overlay, which is the manipulation over the God source created reality, is blowing fuses. Okay. And while that manipulated overlay of the timeline is blowing fuses, you can manifest at the speed of light. Okay. I was very, very insistent. I want to say 4 or 5 days ago on getting a couch that was under a certain price, used but brand new, and velvet green. Now, I don't know if you can see this behind me, but today the velvet green couch was delivered. I have never in my life seen an energy so conducive to instant manifestation. Now, some of you gurus may be clicking your heels together like Dorothy and, showing up with something in 6 seconds. When I say an instant manifestation for myself, I mean, I think of something and a couple hours later it pops up, depending on the size of that thing. That thing is coming really fast. It was like 4 days before I found a really inexpensive peacock teal colored velvetish green couch that was the only thing I wanted. It took 4 days to get it. That's a big thing. Some things are taking a lot less. So remember, while there are inconveniences to blowing the fuse, that is, I hope I'm explaining this well. There's a source created simulation that you were dropped into to learn how to create the most abundant, brilliant life you could ever have. There was a group of people on this planet that decided to overlay, control, manipulate the weather, what we see, what we feel, what we hear, the frequency all the time in order to keep you from doing exactly the reason that you came here. But that inorganic manipulated overlay is fluctuating between 0 and 20%, but the weather manipulation part of that is not working at all. So if you're seeing rain or crazy weather or hot weather when it should be cool, or cool weather when it should be hot, or whatever, just know that with that turned off, just like when you turn off your power tools, you have to assimilate to having that out of the system. The organic human template now is also like discharging and radiating out that solar energy, that overlay that was manipulating humankind, as well as the grid. Okay, so everything, everybody, every piece of humanity and sentient life and the trees and the grids and the grid coordinates, everything is purging, and things are coming to the surface for recalibration. Okay, so yes, there's some chaos and some unnerving energy and things like that in there, but no, there's never been a better time, time of higher instant manifestation. Okay. what is clearly coming through about our consciousness at this time of ascension is that we must recognize that people, places, and things, habits, situations, whatever it is, we're all going to be different. Many of us are experiencing the same things, though. The part that's so important about expanding the consciousness and having that healing shield so that during this ascension process, we are shielded, we are healed, and we are protected. And you know that you are, that we are, that we all are. But a big part of that protection and a big part of that healing is knowing when something is over, dead, and gone. As they say, don't beat a dead horse. Part of our protection and part of our reassimilation and our recalibration right now within our consciousness is to let go of things that we know are dead, done, and over. No need to beat a dead horse. You know, this is so interesting. This is the third time, I think, since my YouTube channel that I've moved, and I've not done this intentionally. But if you look right behind my head here, um, that is 8-year-old me. And that's happened every time I move and set up this camera. It's so funny because it's completely not intentional. Okay. The next thing that's incredibly important during this time of magic, radiant, self-abundant, creative life force energy that's going on is that I need you, I need us, I need we as a group, the whole of humanity, to come from the place of unicorns and rainbows. Now, I don't mean that we stay in that mode all day, but when it comes to creating life, personally and on the world stage, when I say come from the perspective of the unicorn, that means coming from a place um, of complete and total innocence. Okay. How will we change anything in our life, or how will we change anything on the world stage if we don't believe it's possible? Right. So, whether you believe in unicorns or not, it's very important that we come from a place of innocence and love when we're trying to do things, right? We're trying to maybe fix situations or change jobs or relocate. And so when I say, you know, as far as like changing relationships or jobs or relocating, coming from a place of love, coming from the place of the unicorn, is to be able to tell yourself anything is possible. There has never been a higher energy of manifestation of organic human template recalibration, grid recalibration, human sentient life recalibration. And the most important energy for you to be in is that unicorn or rainbow or leprechaun or fairy or whatever whatever little special creature you would like to put on that. You can label that as you wish. But that very innocent, I have never been hurt before, right? I can move and everything is going to go smoothly. I can start a new relationship from a place of innocence. I can start a new job knowing that everything is always working out for me, coming from a place of innocence, because I know that the majority of the people that watch this channel are between 40 and 70. We've done a lot and seen a lot and had a lot happen. And sometimes it's really hard for us to come from a place of innocence and joy when we're thinking about doing something outside our comfort zone or outside the box or asking someone out. Or going on a date when you haven't been on a date in 3 years, or switching careers when you've been doing the same thing for 20 years. So whatever you're trying to change, whatever is transforming in your life, we need to come from the place of innocence. Like I've never been hurt, like I've never had a shitty job, like I've never had a sucky landlord, whatever the situation was before. Because again, we go back to that. We have to remember who we are. That part of the reptilian brain that says, my mindset must be keep myself safe, right? don't throw myself out of my comfort zone and ask somebody out if I'm uncomfortable, or don't go ask for a job that I feel unqualified. Do everything and anything that you don't feel unqualified for, because who cares? If you know your God, you wouldn't be doing anything that you didn't want to do. You would create something. You know what? I don't like this job. I'm going to create something else. I don't like this relationship. I'm going to create another one. I don't like this hairdo. I'm going to get a haircut. It's that easy. If we could think about it like, chopping off our hair, or going to a restaurant and ordering a salad or whatever you want off the menu, and say, you know what? I ordered it. It's coming. I know it's coming. But when we order stuff in our personal lives or on the world stage, sometimes we worry, is the hamburger actually going to show up, right? Is the salad actually going to come from the kitchen? Is it going to be delicious? Is it not going to be messed up? We don't do that when we go to a restaurant, or most of us don't do that when we go to a restaurant, but we do it in our daily lives every day. And we're trying to transform big, 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 big energy right now. And when we're transforming big, big energy, we have got to come from a place of innocence. Like, no one's ever treated me like crap before. Like I said, whatever. I've never been in a bad situation. I can have anything I want. I can create anything I want. There's no reason for me, when I know my entire destiny came here to create the thing that I want to see that is most joyful in my life. And for all of you, for all of us on the planet. And that happens by working together. But before we can even work together, we have to come from a place of innocence and never being hurt, never have been hurt before. Okay. And sometimes when you think about things like, oh gosh, I really want to go out with this person, but there's no way. I don't have the guts to ask this person out, for example. Okay. Flash yourself back to being 16 or 18 when you were like, who cares? Right. Because a lot of it is our age group. And again, the majority of you are, 40 to 70, been there, done that, right? Been burnt by many situations, many times. But when you get in that situation of, oh, I really want to offer my services to this place, I really want to go for this job, I really want to get myself out there, out of my comfort zone, and ask this person out, or do whatever this thing is. Pretend for a moment like you're 16 or 18 or whatever your most confident age was. Okay. And immediately when you say, you know what? Okay, I'm not 53, I'm 18. I'm going to ask this guy out. If he says no, who the hell cares? Thank you, next, right? As Ariana Grande says. So sometimes age factors into it, and sometimes the crap that's happened in the past factors into it, because the other part of the reptilian brain says, somebody did this person place situation didn't work out before. So when we have a similar thing, or think about trying something that is similar to that, like asking someone out or trying to sell ourselves to a job that maybe we aren't on paper qualified, but there's never been a better time to go out there and do what you want to do and manifest what you want to manifest. But you have to come from the innocence of the unicorn or the fairies right now to make it happen. Okay. So that means the energy of Mercury. I have to speak like I've never had my heart broken. I have to speak like I've never had a shitty job. I have to speak like I've never had a shitty landlord. And you guys know all about my shitty landlord, right? But I had to pretend that everything was awesome in order to get here. I couldn't come in here and complain about the last situation when I want to change and transform my life. I can't talk about the shit show that was the last apartment, or the shit show that was the last job or relationship or whatever it is. We have to make sure that we are speaking to ourselves and speaking to other people from a place of innocence. Yeah, you know what? I may not have a degree in whatever, but I'm going to go in there and just say, God, it would really please me to work here. I think I would be awesome here. It would really please me to go out on a date with you. It would really please me to take a walk with you or have coffee with you. It would really please me to, design your landscape, whatever you want. It's important. The energy of Mercury keeps coming through very strongly right now. Okay. It's not just you thinking rainbows and unicorns in fairyland. When you go after that person, place, thing, that opportunity, whatever it is for you, you must speak from a place of innocence. I want this. I like this. I need this. Okay. But we must speak from a place of innocence, not I have been burned before. Okay. We don't need to speak that way because, everybody's been burned before in multiple situations. But if you want to manifest something right now in this intense solar energy at the speed of light, then go in there and speak like a unicorn. Okay. Speak like a fairy. Okay. Use your words. I would be great at this. I would love to do this. I would love this opportunity. I would love this date. I would love this haircut. Whatever it is you want, you need to speak from a place of innocence, okay? Because there is a fiery new direction that is for all of us. That is the destiny. That's the reason we came here, was to drop in, realize it was a simulation, realize the simulation had been some point taken over for many millennia, okay? And to show the way out of it, okay? And the matrix itself has already collapsed, but there are parts and pieces to that overlay. The inorganic, man-made, manipulated simulation that are blowing a fuse. Do yourself a favor and think very differently, okay? Tell yourself very different things. Yeah, this normally takes 6 months, but in this energy, I could do it tomorrow, right? In this energy, my partner could show up tomorrow. In this energy, I could get the promotion I've always wanted tomorrow. Mercury energy. That is, how do you talk to yourself? How do you present yourself to other people? Speak with confidence, with innocence, and with playfulness, because we are here as God, masculine, feminine energy combined in a human body, to learn how to manifest abundant, brilliant, beautiful life that we wanted for ourselves and the world. And the only way to do that is out of the reptilian brain. I must be safe. I must be safe. I must stay in my comfort zone. I can't apply for this job or ask this person out or do whatever this thing is, right? There is a new passionate spark within you, within all of you. That is your God created gift to show up here as God in a human body and create. But we don't create with the mind, any part of the mind, okay? The creation comes in from the intuition. We use our intuition about what gives us spark, what gives us brilliance, what gives us joy, what gives us innocence, and what gives us playfulness. And that's the direction we go. We invite the brain in when we've already decided, I'm going to ask that person out. Okay, how am I going to do it? When am I going to do it? I'm going to present a plan to totally make your yard the most glorious thing you've ever seen. Already decided that in my heart. Walk past your house every day. It's gorgeous. I would love a chance to come in here and do some stuff. Here's my plan. Okay. Once the situation, we've decided with the heart to do this person, place, thing, then we invite the brain in to logistically plan out how we're going to rescape that yard or ask that person out or get the job that on paper we're not qualified for. Decision making with the heart and intuition, and logistics is when we invite the brain in later. Okay, we've got solar on top of solar on top of solar on top of solar, and I'm sweating to prove that. So this is going to bring up everything, mixed emotions, mixed energies, okay? But remember, even though you may be seeing chaos in the world, that is part of the reality of what happens in a giant transformation. You cannot come in and build the dream house if there's a mall in the parking lot or another house that you don't want or an old business, right? We must first take down the mall or the old house or the business or whatever it is. We cannot rebuild or create on top of something that already exists. The expansion of your consciousness to create in the now moment at the fastest speed of light possible is to know when things are over. And when there is energy on top of energy on top of energy, it is for the personal solar empowerment of your body, your solar plexus, your confidence. I'm going to do what pleases me. This is what I want. This is where I'm going. This is how I'm going to be. This is a dream come true. And last but not least, 5500. Remember, in all of this, that in the creation process, in the partnering up process, in the relocation process, in the job of your dream process, be playful, because it is the playful energy that makes things happen at the speed of light, not the logistics, not your plan of how am I going to do this? How am I going to pack the U-Haul? What am I going to show up? What the heck am I going to say? What am I going to do? What if all these, what if, playful, okay? This energy is so conducive to what I'll call our best, that innocent, that's a Freudian slip, innocent, instant manifestation. And the biggest thing that can help you right now is to, whether you're asking someone out or changing jobs or going up to the neighbor and knocking on the door and say, man, I just have to get a hold of your garden and be there and do this. I have this brilliant, whatever you're doing, go in with innocence and playfulness. Innocence and playfulness will get you everywhere. Yes, you've been hurt. Yes, you've been abused. Yes, you've known narcissistic people. Yes, you've been in shitty relationships. Yes, you've had shitty jobs. You've had shitty landlords. Okay. You've had car wrecks. You've had family trauma. We've all had all of that. Okay. Had it. Doesn't mean you have to currently have it because you, in a past experience, had it. Okay? Innocence, playfulness, love, brilliance, gratitude. This energy is absolute fire in creation. There are so many people that are going to be, I don't even know how to describe this. The only thing I can say is your destiny, my destiny, our destiny is coming so incredibly fast. If you can release what, Tom, Johnny, and your mother did to you in this lifetime or any other. Innocence, playfulness, expanded consciousness, know what's over, move forward. This is what I want. This is innocent. This is beautiful. This is brilliant. This is playful. This pleases me. And I won't do anything that pleases me. Please remember who you are. You are moving big, big, big energy. Take care of yourself. Remember who you are. We came here for this time of instant manifestation. We've all been working on it for many, many years, okay? And it's not a race to the finish line. But if there's something you've been thinking about or on the fence about for a while, as Red Hot Chili Peppers say, there's never been a better time than right now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Okay? Give away the old crap energy. Step into your energy that is innocence. Step in your energy that is playful and communicate with whatever situation you want that pleases you in a playful, innocent way. And I guarantee you, the spark of your destiny, the spark of the reason you came here is going to take off like the speed of light. Because that's why we are in this solar cycle. It's about solar empowerment for the human body, for sentient life, Mother Earth, our sector of the universe, okay? Our multiverse, our omniverse, and to infinity and beyond. Okay? To infinity and beyond. There has never been a more fired up, ramped up, brilliant time to create what you have always wanted. Thank you so much for being here, as always. And much love. Bye. I almost knocked over my camera. At least I waited till the end.